Greetings, Africans. How are you, Africans? I hope you guys are well. I'm well, guys. My name is Devos Kosana, and this is my channel. Okay, guys. On this video, we're talking about the sacking of the AmaZulu Prime Minister, Reverend Thulasizwe Buthelezi. Right? The news broke. It was 2 days ago. Yeah, it must have been 2 days ago when it was announced that the Zulu King Misizulu kaZwelithini has dismissed his Prime Minister, Reverend Thulasizwe Buthelezi. Okay, so we asked the reason. What could be the reason behind this dismissal? Why did King Misizulu kaZwelithini dismiss Reverend Thulasizwe Buthelezi as the Zulu Nation Prime Minister? What are the reasons behind this dismissal? Okay, because I see yesterday in an interview with one of the media houses, Reverend Thulasizwe Buthelezi mentions that King Misizulu kaZwelithini has been under serious pressure, right? Has been under serious pressure to dismiss him, right? He says so. He says Reverend Thulasizwe Buthelezi has been under pressure to dismiss him, right? So you ask the question that this pressure, who has been applying the pressure to King Misizulu kaZwelithini to dismiss Reverend Thulasizwe Buthelezi, right? And clearly, if that person can be able to exert that pressure to the king, then it means it is someone with enough authority and enough influence, right? Because not anyone can apply a pressure on the whole king to dismiss his prime minister, right? So we have to ask the question, is it politically motivated, right? The pressure, I'm talking about the pressure here. Is the pressure coming from the political arena, right? And if it is coming from the political arena, then who's been exerting this pressure on King Misizulu kaZwelithini? Because we have to ask the questions. Remember, the government does allocate funds, right, to the monarch, right? It does allocate funds. Hence, I'm saying the only person who can be able to exert that kind of a pressure is someone with enough authority and influence, right? So if we're going to say then it is government that has been doing that, but then we have to ask the question, because remember now, at national level, we've got the so-called Government of National Unity. And the IFP is part of that, right? And in KZN, they've got the coalition that is made of the IFP, the ANC, and the Democratic Alliance, right? And the NFP, of course, right? So then if we're going to say the pressure it's being exerted at the political level by the government, then how to explain the fact that, because remember, Reverend Thulasizwe Buthelezi, he is a leader of the Inkatha Freedom Party, right? He's part of the Inkatha Freedom Party leadership, senior leadership, and is currently the MEC, right, in the KwaZulu-Natal provincial government, under the premiership of Premier Ntuli, who happens to be the IFP leader in KwaZulu-Natal. So now, how to now connect these things, that the pressure is being exerted at the government level, but then the very same IFP is part of the government, right, at the national level and at the provincial level, right? It was going to be a different story if this occurred before the 29th of May, because at the time the ANC at national was a government on its own. It had a majority, and even at the provincial level in KwaZulu-Natal, the ANC was a government, a majority government. It was not governing through any coalition, you see. So you have to ask that question then, but then how do you explain the pressure part? Okay, because you have to ask that question, right? Unless there has been a serious fallout between two men, being King Misizulu kaZwelithini and Reverend Thulasizwe Buthelezi, right? Unless there's been a fallout between them. Because for me, that's hard to explain. That would sound much better in terms of an explanation. Because this one of the pressure being exerted, I'm still to be convinced that the pressure has been exerted, but from which avenues there's pressure being exerted. Because the IFP is part of the government at the national level and at the provincial level. And Reverend Buthelezi happens to be part of the senior leadership of the IFP. You see? So because I even saw the response by the IFP leader, who also happens to be the Minister of COGTA, the Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. You see, here's the thing again. The IFP leader, the national leader of the Inkatha Freedom Party, or say the president of the Inkatha Freedom Party, Velenkosini Hlabisa, he's a minister of a department that is responsible for looking after the traditional affairs. So did you see the dynamics there? Unless this has even something to do even with the squabbles within the IFP in terms of the leadership succession. Could it be that Velenkosini Hlabisa decided not to protect Reverend Buthelezi, or even had something to do with this dismissal of Reverend Buthelezi as a Prime Minister of the AmaZulu Nation because of their internal battles within the IFP? Because, as I've said, Velenkosini Hlabisa is a minister of COGTA, which is Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. You see, so in this case, you cannot claim, but the IFP is the one that has been exerting pressure. The ANC, it is the one that has been exerting pressure on the ANC. Because this time around, the IFP is not just any bystander. The IFP is part of the government, as I've explained, at national level, provincial level, and even it's even heading the ministry and the department that is responsible for traditional affairs. I think this is a point that maybe probably a lot of people or the analysts have not looked at, that this could even be talking about the internal battles within the IFP in terms of the leadership succession. You see, there might be something cooking in there. But I'll leave it at that. You guys tell me, what do you make of this? What do you make of this move by the King Misizulu kaZwelithini to dismiss Reverend Thulasizwe as the Prime Minister of the AmaZulu Nation? You know you're always welcome to comment in the comment section below. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and join to be a member of the channel. Thank you very much, guys, Africans. Siyabonga Africa. Bakhanya.